Hello friends, this is the third part of the big review of all the resorts of Punta Cana. So, Punta Cana Beach is divided into 4 parts. In this video, I proceed reviewing of the Bavaro Beach resorts. So, the next resort after Paradisos Grand is Dreams Royal Beach and Secrets Royal Beach Punta Cana. They are located right here, approximately 30 minutes driving from the airport. And the Secrets Royal Beach is the former now Larimar, and Dreams is the former Secrets Royal. Dreams Royal Beach is a small hotel for those who doesn't like trains and to walk much. The resort has many green areas, long swimming pools. I also like the beach here. It's wide and beautiful, and the ocean is quiet, so this resort is also good for families with kids, although there is no water park. The rooms are okay. About the minuses, I don't even know what to say. Maybe that there is no water park and the resort is not big, but for some people that will be a plus. So I would say it's an average Dominican 5-star resort. Secrets Royal Beach is located on the same territory, but it's adults only resort. By the way, the guests of Secrets can go to the territory of Dreams Royal Beach and use all the facilities there: restaurants, bars, swimming pools, etc. Secrets Royal Beach looks a little bit newer and more modern. There are no bracelets in this resort, but they have a preferred club. It's an exclusive part of the resort. They have their own reception, swimming pool, lounge, and part on the beach. So if you are a regular guest, you will not be able to use all the bars and pools. To my opinion, the price of the preferred club is too high and doesn't justify the advantages. The rooms are fine. So about this resort, I can say the same thing as about Dreams. A small territory, good rooms, wonderful beach, big swimming pools. The food is okay. As for minuses, I don't really see any. Maybe this thing with the preferred club, and if you want a big territory with tropical birds, flamingos, etc. So this hotel is not for you then. I have a detailed review of these 2 resorts in my channel, so you can check them. Now let's move forward. The next resort is WHALA Bavaro. I think it's one of the worst resorts, all-inclusive ones, here in Punta Cana. Of course, it's cheap, but at the same price, you might find some other resorts which are much better. For example, Impressive or Vista Sol, which are located here next to WHALA, and I will tell about them later. First of all, WHALA is not on the first line. You have to cross the road to go to the beach. Yes, it's only 1 minute walking, but the beach is not really good. First of all, it's too small, maybe 20-30 meters long. The rooms are old and very basic. You have to leave the deposit for the towel. They only change them once in 2 days. There is nothing in minibar. You have to take water from the cooler. There's no coffee machine in the rooms. So this is a low budget resort. It's not really bad, but for the same price you might find a really better option. For example, in Expedia it's 107 the price of WHALA, and the same dates 95 for Impressive, and Impressive is much better. Okay, let's move, and the next resort, which is here near WHALA, is Impressive Punta Cana. The good points are wonderful and very long beach with such a bridge. There is no waves or small waves here in this area. Lots of long chairs and palms and shadow on the beach. Also, the resort has lots of green areas. It's very beautiful here. Lots of palms, trees, flowers, and the territory is big too. The price is definitely good. The hotel is not expensive. The rooms are not great. The food is either, but I would say rooms and food correspond to the price of the resort. There will arrive lots of local people on the weekend, but this situation you will experience in every 4-star resort here in Punta Cana. There will be lines to the restaurant, to the bar, but actually that happens even in 5-star resorts here. There is also one part of the hotel which is called premium and is considered to be 5 stars. The rooms are definitely better here. They also have their own bar, restaurant, pool and reception. The next resort on the coast is Vista Sol. It's also not expensive. The beach is beautiful with lots of trees and shadows. There is no waves or small waves here. It's not so big as impressive, but it's also beautiful, lots of green areas, trees and flowers. The rooms are not really great, the food either, but that's a low-budget hotel. You wouldn't expect lobsters here. If I had to choose between Impressive and Vista Sol, I would go for Impressive. I think it's bigger and a little bit better. Next to Vista Sol, we have Presidential Suites Punta Cana. First of all, this is not exactly the hotel. It's actually apartments with optional all-inclusive system, so you might rent them as apartment only or like an all-inclusive hotel. There are good Bali beds on the beach, but the beach is very small and the territory of the hotel is small too. It's actually 2 buildings and the long and narrow swimming pool between them. I wouldn't really recommend you to go to this hotel because it has a huge problem, the water. The water is salty here and stinks. I mean the tap water. I don't know, maybe for some people it's okay, but for me that was critical. The next resort is Palladium. Palladium is a huge complex consisting of 4 hotels: Palladium Royal Suites, Palladium Palace, Punta Cana, and Palladium Bavaro. Each hotel has its own lobby, but all the guests have the same bracelet, so they can walk everywhere and use any restaurants and bars of the complex except Turquesa, which is considered to be a higher level hotel. So the guests of Turquesa can use all the areas of the complex, but vice versa is not possible. I will try to make a detailed review of Palladium later, but now I would like just to point the main features of the resort. The beach is very long, but not so wide as in the previous resort, and there might be waves in this area. Sometimes small, like today, and sometimes bigger, but they will not be huge, so this resort is also okay for families with small kids. The resort is huge and green and beautiful. There is a train coming throughout the hotel. There are flamencos, tropical birds, lakes and jungles right inside the hotel. The rooms are a little bit old and rather small. This room is, for example, Junior Suite Garden View by Palladium Palace. The standard room is still smaller. The food is okay here. So I would say Palladium is a good 5-star Dominican hotel. I could recommend it. Please do not compare Dominican resorts with European ones or Dubai. This is another story. Section Turquesa has a better choice of drinks, their own pool and beach. They also have concierge service. The rooms are bigger and better. Okay, let's move forward, and the next resort is Occidental Punta Cana. In some websites it goes as a 5-star resort, but it's actually a 4-star. But the price is also not very high. The beach is not very long but wide. The ocean is wavy here. There are 3 big swimming pools which go throughout the resort. The hotel is not big. It's like 4 minutes walking from the reception to the beach. There are green areas, but not like in the other resorts. The rooms are basic and regular. Minus is that there are no many chaiselongs in the shadow. They are mostly under the sun. Before, the food was good here, but recently I did have several complaints for the food. There will be of course lots of locals on the weekend and lines to the bars and restaurants, but as I said, that situation you will find in many hotels here. I think Occidental Punta Cana as a 4-star hotel is not bad. Okay friends, thank you for watching my video. I hope it was useful for you. Please subscribe and ask your question in the comments. See you here in Punta Cana. Bye bye!